Hi everyone, good evening. I can see that some of you are here. Please let me know if I'm clearly audible and clearly visible. Good evening, good evening. Very happy to see you all. We will wait for a few more of you to join in and then we shall get started. Today we have a very interesting, very important and very easy topic here with us, which is heuristics. तो ये topic जो है a lot of times actually every single exam net psychology, net set and all, you will have at least one question on heuristics, ki formal heuristics, informal heuristics, which of the following, one questions nahi, one question at least, but you may have multiple questions. On heuristics and thinking and problem solving in general is a very important part of your syllabus. And I have found Okay, thank you so much, guys. And I have found that a lot of students have difficulty in understanding this. Therefore, I am making this, free class for all of you. So welcome to Unacademy's YouTube channel. My name is Hafsa Malik and I am your educator for psychology on Unacademy NTA-UGC NET platform. I also teach for GATE, I also teach clinical psychology and everything under the sun that is related to psychology. So welcome to my class. Today we are going to discuss thinking and problem solving. Particularly what topic are we going to discuss? We are going to talk about heuristics in depth. आज हम heuristics के बारे में बात करेंगे in depth detail में. So please join in quickly and we will get started. I hope you like the pictures here. We will talk about the pictures later as well. All right. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Very happy to see you all. We will get started immediately. Charlie. All right. Now, I am sort of sure that all of you know at least what heuristics means. कि heuristics का मतलब होता क्या है. Also, happy Navratri to everybody who's celebrating and Ramzan Mubarak to everybody who's fasting. Since, last week none of these things was happening when we were on YouTube. Okay. All right. Now, for those of you who want to join my classes on Unacademy, you can basically use the code Hafsa Live to get a 10% off on your subscription. Okay, on your subscription plus iconic anything, any subscription that you choose, you can get a 10% off by using my code. You can also get access to my free classes on Unacademy just by going ahead using the code Hafsa Live, and then of course you have to install the app and you have to sign in. Absolutely. Mental shortcut. ये हम सबको पता है. All of us are aware that heuristics basically indicate mental shortcuts, right? Okay. All right. So let's try to understand what the different types of heuristics are. I'm not completely. I'm currently doing a complete batch on psychology along with paper one with other amazing educators, so you can join in and you can learn from all of us together. If you'd like to, you can join my telegram group if you'd like, and that's about it. Norms are there, but let's talk about problem solving. So let me ask you to begin with, are there problems we solve in our day-to-day life? क्या हम अपनी day-to-day life में problem solve करते हैं? Yes or no? So a lot of theories of thinking and decision making will tell you that everything you do in your life is to solve a problem, right? Whether it's finding what to wear today, whether it's thinking about what to eat today, everything is a problem that you solve. Or how to get to your friend's house in the shortest amount of time, how to avoid traffic, how to basically use something for an umbrella if it suddenly rains. All of those are nothing but shortcuts that we are talking about, right? A lot of times we would like to use shortcuts to solve these day-to-day life problems that we encounter every day, right? Problem solving can be of multiple types. Heuristics ही नहीं है सिर्फ जिससे हम problem solve कर सकते हैं, लेकिन problem solve करने के actually बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. We have algorithms, right? We have trial and error solutions. Now, algorithms are basically methods that are just like, how flowcharts are or how formulae are, where if you follow a certain sequence of steps, you are bound to get the right answer. Algorithm की खासियत क्या है कि अगर आप ये method follow करेंगे तो हमेशा आपको एक सही answer मिलेगा. You are most likely bound to get a right answer if you follow a certain sequence of steps, right? This applies for a well-defined problem. Okay, it can be a simple or a complex problem as long as we know what the problem is. Okay, All right, fine. Okay, ठीक है. Now, a lot of time in our day-to-day life, we may not have the time to sit and follow each and every step. Let me ask you, for those of you who cook every day, do you use a recipe book every day? क्या आप रोज जब कुकिंग करते हो तो रेसिपी बुक यूज करते हो, और डू यू जस्ट यूज रूल ऑफ थंब कि इतना इतना नमक, इतनी मिर्ची एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट? बेसिकली यू आई बॉल इट, राइट, एंड यू जस्ट पुट, or do you use a recipe book every single day if you're fancy? How to convince mummy ki fast food? All right. That you don't ask me. एब्सोल्युटली, आइडिया से ही तो डालते हैं. दैट इज नथिंग बट ह्यूरिस्टिक्स. तो हम देखेंगे डे टू डे लाइफ में व्हाट आर द गुड ह्यूरिस्टिक्स दैट वी यूज एंड व्हाट आर द बैड ह्यूरिस्टिक्स दैट वी यूज. वेरी वेरी simple language I've tried to tell you, but in reality we will talk about formal and informal heuristics. Informal heuristics are those which hinder our problem solving, right? And formal heuristics are those which actually help in problem solving. Okay, ठीक है. So we have our three methods here which we have spoken about. Now good to go? Good to go? Informal heuristics क्या हमें help करेंगे problem solving में? Informal heuristics are the ones that serve as hindrances in problem solving, because heuristics or mental shortcuts are not always great. They basically, what do I say? They might give us a solution, but they don't always give us a solution. Okay, so we have to be very, very careful as to which heuristics we are using in our day-to-day life. Is it the informal ones which are actually spoiling our problem solving capacity, or is it the formal ones which are improving our problem solving capacity? I apologize for the font or for the spaces here. I'll go ahead and explain everything for you, so you don't need to worry. ऑल राइट, मम्मी को कन्विंस करने के लिए सबसे बेस्ट रहेगा मैम. सबसे बेस्ट क्या रहेगा? सबसे बेस्ट रहेगा कि जंक फूड ना खाओ. हाउ कैन यू, व्हाट लाइंग यूल डू? How can you convince? Chaliye, let's get started. So I have attached pictures also. Please let me know if you're able to see the pictures clearly. First of all, let's talk about the availability heuristic. ध्यान से सुनिए. So availability heuristic is basically me recollecting whatever is most easily available in my memory. Recollecting the information most easily available. तो क्या ये हमेशा अच्छा होगा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग के लिए? Not really, not really. What does this mean? And how would this look like in actual decision making? Actual decision making में ये कैसा दिखेगा? Okay, you see what this person is saying? 12 die in airplane crash. क्या हम न्यूज में बहुत सुनते हैं कि एयरप्लेन क्रैश हुआ है? Do we not hear in news? One day or another we hear that. हाँ. So do we basically hear once in a while that today there was an airplane crash? Once in a while. And does it stay in our memory? वो रहता है हमारी memory में. वो रहता है हमारी memory में. At least once a month you will hear today in Philippines a jet crash, today in Malaysia a jet crash, today in so and so country, today in another country. Now this is a 1 in a million chance. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये हर कोई प्लेन के साथ होगा. But since this is sensational news, क्या ये sensational news है? And therefore क्या news channels इसको highlight करेंगी? Like an aeroplane getting hijacked. Highlight नहीं करेंगे इसको. This is sensational news. And therefore, since this is shown a lot and it got a lot of coverage, I may believe that this happens every single day. समझ रहे हैं आप? I'll explain in Hindi also. क्योंकि इसको बहुत कवरेज मिली न्यूज पे. आप सोचो कि अगर प्लेन हाईजैक होता है कितनी कवरेज मिलती है, कितनी बार दिखाते हैं? बिकॉज इट्स सेंसेशनल न्यूज. Not as if car accidents don't happen every day and people don't lose their lives. Car accidents are much more frequent, but you will see a lot more people will have fear of flying rather than fear of car accidents. Okay? बट अभी तो इसमें टाइम का, हाँ क्या इंडिया में भी रिसेंटली हुआ है. देखिए यही होता है ना, यही माइंडसेट हम क्रिएट करते हैं. हाँ जी, एब्सोल्युटली. सो फ्रॉम कश्मीर टू कन्याकुमारी बाय रोड दिन भर दिखाते हैं अगर कुछ होता है. देयरफॉर ये हमारी मेमोरी में अच्छे से स्टोर हो जाता है एंड दिस बिकम्स मोस्ट इजीली अवेलेबल टू आवर मेमोरी, व्हिच इज एक्चुअली not great, right? Which is not great. And the next time I think about flying, I may, जैसे like Devyani said, I may instead choose to basically Do what? I may choose to travel by road in a very difficult, through a very, very difficult road, rather than flying, like going to Leh or Ladakh through road, and not flying because you are scared of flying. Trust me, the road is much more scary. Fly. Don't go by road. All right. Okay. So I hope we're clear with availability heuristic. So remember, always whenever you are actually making the use of your most available or most recently available information, that is the availability heuristic, और ये आपके decision making skills को खराब करेगा. It's not going to help you make a good decision. Remember that. Okay. All right. Wonderful. चलिए. Now we will talk about representativeness heuristic. Have you ever thought that a teacher must be boring because they're a teacher? Tell me honestly. Have you ever thought कि नहीं नहीं मेरा टीचर तो बहुत शरीफ है, how can they do this and that, how can they be on Facebook, how can they be having fun, how can they go to a party, they're a teacher. Never thought like that? A librarian, yeah, exactly. Now that is a stereotype. तो representativeness मतलब हमारे जो few personal experiences हैं. Okay, few personal experiences हैं. So this may be what a manager is always wearing a suit. Who told you? Absolutely. So representativeness is basically based on what? This is some personal experiences are basically generalized. हमारे personal और specific experiences को हम generalize कर देते हैं. Maybe when I grew up, my teacher was really, really old and a sweet lady, but really, really boring, did not know anything about the world. तो मैंने क्या सोच लिया? I started assuming that all teachers must be like this, wear a sweater throughout the year, wear loose clothes, and don't like to dress up and don't like to do anything fun. Absolutely. So this is generalized. Absolutely. जैसे ओमनी को हमने किडनैपिंग वाली वैन बना दिया है. Absolutely. Okay, so librarians might always be perceived as somebody who's quiet and calm and shy and doesn't like to talk to people. Student might always, how relatives घर आते हैं, कहते हैं कि ये राइम सुनाओ बेटा, वो राइम सुनाओ, बचपन याद करो guys. हाँ, they imagine कि बच्चे दिन रात क्या करते हैं, राइम सीखते हैं. All right, now that is the representativeness. That is the representativeness heuristic, and that is based on stereotypes. Now tell me, are stereotypes great? Are stereotypes great, and are they good for making decisions? They are not. They are not. हाँ, absolutely. Relatives सोचते हैं कि बच्चे हैं तो entertainment है. हाँ, guys, kids are not entertainment. But your relatives will never watch, तो क्या फायदा? All right. Good to go, guys. Any doubts here? Please let me know. Anybody has a doubt? Today I have all the time in the world. Also, happy Friday to everybody. Relatives से ज़्यादा parents बोलते हैं मैम. Parents बोलते हैं तो ठीक है. All right. Please go ahead. If there are any doubts, you can ask. Yes, ma'am. Good to go. बेटा डांस करके दिखाओ. Why harass the child? बच्चों को क्यों ऐसे तंग करना? All right, ठीक है. Let's go and let's move on to another type of heuristic, or actually two other types of heuristics. So please pay attention. First of all, we will talk about the anchoring and adjustment. Really important. क्या आपने कभी, guys, I'll explain in English also, don't worry. Now, क्या आपने कभी experience किया है कि जब कोई चीज़ सेल पे होती है तो आप उसका ओरिजिनल वैल्यू जो रखा होता है वहां पे वो देखते हो? You look at the original value which was earlier set. So this mug was earlier for $1,000 apparently, and now it is reduced to $300. I'm not trying to understand, or I'm not able to understand that $300 is too much for a mug, no matter what kind of mug it is. But I'm only looking at the $1,000 price tag which has been cut off. तो हम original information को ही, या first piece of information जो हमें मिलती है, we take that and we keep carrying it along, and जो भी उसके बाद आता है, we keep comparing it to the initial piece of information. This is the same thing. हाँ जी, this is the same thing we do even while making friends. आप सोचो कि do we maintain first impressions? We know as psychology students that first impressions are mostly incorrect. But still we maintain. हम कहते हैं कि नहीं ये तो अच्छा है, इसे तो पहली बार जब बात की थी, they were really sweet, they were really nice, they can't do bad things, because I only view them as that friendly person because of the friendly behavior they showed me only the first time I met them. ठीक है? एब्सोल्युटली गाइस, ऐसे फ्रेंड्स मत बनाया करो, टेस्ट मल्टीपल टाइम्स. Okay, all right. Good with anchoring and adjustment. If there are any doubts, please ask. With anchoring and adjustment, any doubts, please ask. Absolutely. So you can say कि first impression को ही हम maintain करते हैं. We keep referring or we basically keep looking at all of their behavior through the lens of that first experience, whether it was good or whether it was bad. Not always good. And that is not great. Mission JRF AIR 2020. Good for you. All right. Okay. All right. Next, we talk about simulation heuristic. How many of you have said, ma'am, 2 marks से miss हुआ, 5 marks से miss हुआ, कितना बुरा लग रहा है? Does it feel worse when we miss something by a small margin? We feel much worse when we miss out on something by a small margin. Yes? Why is that? ऐसा क्यों है? So simulation means to be able to recreate reality. पता है ना आपको, जब पायलट ट्रेनिंग करते हैं तो उनके पास एक फेक बेसिकली एयरप्लेन होता है एंड इट शोज यू ओ माय गॉड क्रैश, बट ऑल ऑफ दैट इज जस्ट सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक अ गेम. यस. Okay, all right. Hanji. So in simulation, we are able to recreate this scenario because we are able to think very, very easily कि बस मिस होना, कार मिस होना, प्लेन मिस होना 5 minutes की वजह से. Missing by 5 minutes is much more painful than missing by 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, because this 5 minute scenario, we are able to imagine it again and again and again. We are able to recreate it and make it very, very dramatic. And therefore this is not right. आप मुझे बोलो, अगर आपको 100 में से qualifying marks are 60 out of 100, whether you get 59, whether you get 32, is there a difference? क्या कोई difference है? आपको 100 में से 60 लाने हैं, आप 59 लाओ या 32 लाओ, कोई difference है? There's actually no difference in your result is the same, so you should ideally feel equally bad, but you don't. You feel very bad if you get 59 out of 60. That's because it's a very dramatic scenario and it's very, very easy for us to imagine. बहुत दुख होता है. डिफरेंसेस है, डिफरेंस कुछ नहीं है, डिफरेंस कुछ नहीं है, क्योंकि आपने या क्लियर किया है या तो नहीं क्लियर किया है. डिफरेंस सिर्फ दुख में होती है. करेक्ट करण. ओके. Alright, it's basically because it's very easy for us to recreate a scenario of 5 minutes missing something, because it's very dramatic. Movies में होता है and you're like, oh my god, train चली गई and I was waiting. I was running but the train, left without me. Basically. हाँ, बचपन में मैथ्स में टॉपर्स के 90+ आते थे, वो दुखी होते थे. हाँ क्या? हाँ. Sachin failed by 2 marks. That feels bad. That feels bad. It feels much worse because it plays the same scenario plays on in our head again and again. ये क्या होता, वो क्या होता. Oh my God. So we mispredict the possibility of this happening again and again and again. We are able to recreate and reimagine. Okay, all right. Any doubts here? Please let me know. Otherwise, we are good to go. Please let me know if there are any doubts here. Otherwise, we are good to go. All right, wonderful. Is it over prediction? Yes, something like that. Something like that, you can say. Very, very good. Thank you so much, guys. Let's go ahead. We are sort of overthinking here as well. Okay, uske baad. Now, the one that everybody wants to talk about. Ma'am, what is the difference between availability and simulation heuristic? You see, in availability heuristic, we are not, it's not necessarily a bad scenario. I am just bringing the information that is most available to me. Okay? And it's going to prevent me from taking a decision. ठीक है? Availability heuristic में अगर आपने plane crash के बारे में सुना तो आप वापस plane में नहीं चढ़ोगे. So that is preventing you from making a decision or actually doing something. Whereas this simulation heuristic is just about pining, sad हो जाना और बार बार scenario को imagine करके upset हो जाना, which is also wrong because this is not supported by logical reasoning. That way you might feel bad for not clearing, but why should you feel extra bad for not clearing by 2 marks, 3 marks? Like that. 97 आए थे, फिर भी दुख हुआ कि 3 मार्क्स नहीं आए मैथ्स में. Abhishek, I'll get angry with you. Don't say such things. I got some 50 something in maths and I was like, oh my God. I mean, I was also unhappy, but come on. You have to get over it. Okay, ठीक है, चलिए. Now we talk about peak and heuristic, and you will see that this is very, very true. This is very, very true. Now, we are not here to we are not here to discuss relationships or whatever, but you will see whenever you have a bad, what do I say, either a breakup in a relationship or whether it's with a friend that you don't talk to them anymore or any kind of relation at all. जब आप अपने siblings के साथ fight करते हो, do you remember all of the bad things they've done to you? हाँ, they snitched on you. आपकी चुगली की थी यहाँ पे वहां पे. They ate your snacks and this and that. Yes or no? No? Failure to discriminate the difference between what, Pratibha? Difference between what? We are basically generalizing from our specific isolated experiences in मैम चुगली. हाँ, बदला फीलिंग आता है ना. तो यू रिमेंबर ऑल ऑफ द नेगेटिव थिंग्स दे हैव डन टू यू. तो इसको पीक एंड बोलते हैं, स्पेशली व्हेन रिलेशनशिप्स एंड, इवन व्हेन अब्यूजिव रिलेशनशिप्स और नॉट नाइस रिलेशनशिप्स एंड. व्हेन वी आर इन द स्टेट ऑफ सॉर्ट ऑफ एंडिंग द रिलेशनशिप, you might only remember the bad things that the other person has done. And while after the relationship is over, you may miss the partner or you may miss the other person, thinking, oh my God, only good memories. We were always nice with each other. Oh my God, we went here, we went there, like that. Like that. So basically, you only remember the extreme highs and the extreme lows. ये ऐसे हम लाइफ में बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसे ही याद करते हैं. Okay? Either extreme highs or extreme lows in generally in relationships. Absolutely. So basically, this is not great. Now you know this is not great. This prevents you from making a rational decision. When we're upset, either we're only thinking about all of the negative things that happen to us, and when we're very happy, we're only thinking about the good things, ignoring all of the bad. What can we do to prevent this? Think rationally. Yeah, we tend to ignore the how the day-to-day relationship was. We just say कि नहीं, everything was good or everything was bad. That's never the case really, unless it's an abusive relationship. All right, ठीक है. Okay, तो peak या end पे. Then we also have base rate heuristic. I have a really interesting picture and a really nice example with which I will explain this to you. Now, base rate heuristic says we don't look at proper data, but through our assumption, we try to, we give round figures. Do we do that in calculation also? जब हमें कोई 3 डजन 4 डजन कैलकुलेट करने को कहता है या फिर प्राइस कैलकुलेट करने को कहता है, वी डू राउंड फिगर कैलकुलेशन. हम एग्जैक्ट नहीं करते हैं. Okay, all right. We basically don't go by the actual data or statistics, rather we say. So I may say Indians are more prone to eating sweets. There may actually be another culture which eats more sweets than Indians. But since we don't look at the data and just by what we see with our naked eyes, then we go by it. Let's try to understand what is happening here. So somebody is committing base rate fallacy. ये देखते हैं कैसा होता है. So here we are talking about Steve. Steve apparently is very shy. ठीक है? Steve is shy. तो हमारे पास दो ऑप्शंस हैं. Steve is either a salesperson or Steve is a librarian. यहाँ हम कहते हैं कि क्योंकि because Steve is shy, he must be a librarian because librarians are shy. Then are salespeople not shy? Salespeople can also be shy. Now the right answer actually is that Steve is a salesman. And it's not as though all salesmen are very confident. Some salesmen don't do great because they are shy. Yes? Okay, now we assumed here that Steve is a librarian only because he is shy. Now that's not the only criteria and therefore we are committing a mistake here by using the base rate heuristic. वेरी वेरी गुड. हम प्रोबेबिलिटी लेते हैं जो राउंड अबाउट फिगर्स पे डिपेंड होती है या हमारे एक्सपीरियंसेस पे डिपेंड होती है, लेकिन डेटा कुछ अलग हमें दिखाता है. एक्चुअल रियल डेटा शोज अस समथिंग एल्स ऑल टुगेदर. So ma'am, this is based solely on past experience and not on any data. No, it is also based on my guess. Let us say I know that not only do I know or not only have I seen a lot of sweet shops, but I know that in India on festivals we exchange sweets. ठीक है, मुझे पता है कि इंडिया में whenever there are festivals we like to exchange sweets, right? Okay, fine. Does that mean that it's Indians who are always eating sweets? I also know Indians like to eat sweets, but do I know about data of another country or all other countries? I don't know. I don't know. So basically, we leave out data and we just go by a roundabout guess. A lot of times, this guess can be right, but a lot of times, this guess can be wrong also. So, not great. Like that. Okay, understood? Any further doubts, please ask. Otherwise, we'll move on. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Let's go. Let's go. ठीक है. Now what do we have? Now we have last two informal heuristics. One is contagion and another one is scarcity. Scarcity is one of the social compliance principles also. Okay. All right. Let's try to understand why we do what we do. Now, contagion heuristic is, when there is salmonella or when there's some chicken ka infection hota hai. Have you guys ever heard? I don't know what it's called now. कभी कभी क्या होता है, बर्ड फ्लू होता है. आप सोचो बर्ड फ्लू आई शुड से चंडीगढ़ में है, तो सोचो कि बर्ड फ्लू चंडीगढ़ में है, देन पीपल इन साउथ इंडिया स्टॉप ईटिंग चिकन. इज देयर एनी सेंस इन दैट? देयर इज नो सेंस इन दैट. तो व्हाट हैपेंस इज ओके. Okay, all right. Ma'am, can we say that manager would be a male and not a female because of this fallacy? Because of which fallacy? Base rate? Possible. Possible. That would also be because of availability heuristic also, depending on what is most available to us. J. ओके, कोरोना मैम बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल. अब कोरोना क्यों है बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल? हिमाचल में चिकन बंद हो जाता है. एब्सोल्युटली. आप सोचो क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे. सो लेट अस से, हाँ, लेट अस से somebody else in some other part of the world got COVID. So I think, oh my God, I should wear mask inside the house also. But it is better to wear a mask outside. So I'll not give any commentary on COVID. So here contagion basically means salmonella is also something we see in eggs and chicken. अगर हम दूसरी कंट्री में भी देखेंगे कि अंडे खराब निकल रहे हैं, so we will not eat eggs, and that basically doesn't make sense, okay, to prevent sickness. But this is not precaution, this is just paranoia. Ma'am, my doubt please. 1 minute, Devyani, what are you saying? Ma'am, how is it different from representation? Which one? Contagion? Contagion or base rate? Contagion or base rate? Which one are you asking for? Jaldi, jaldi, jaldi. Quick, quick, quick. Yes, okay, fine. Quickly, tell me. Okay, I'll wait. In the meantime, I will also explain scarcity heuristic. Now, what is scarcity? This is also a very good marketing strategy that people use. The more we see that there is less of something, the more we want it. जितनी किसी चीज की कमी होती है उतना हमको लगता है कि हमें ये चाहिए. ठीक है? Okay. Now, this is not great. Suddenly, see, if I tell you that oranges, okay, or these are these oranges or tomatoes? They look like oranges. So Friday 7:25 ko nobody is buying oranges in the store. Then we say deal of the day or oranges running out, last crate of oranges. Everybody will want to buy last crate of oranges. Everybody wants to buy best selling oranges. Everybody wants to buy because we have created a sense of scarcity कि देखो इन चीजों की limited quantity है हमारे पास. Therefore, they are going to sell out really soon, which is not true at all. So things that we think are running out, we are like, oh my God, I need to hold on to this, right? This is exactly why jewels have value. This is exactly why metals have value. This is exactly why a lot of things have value. Hanji, absolutely. Base rate. Okay, all right. I will explain. Please let me know if there are any doubts with these two. Absolutely. Just like in lockdown, we used to basically keep heavy stocks of everything, right? From, what do I say? Everybody was just hoarding on toilet paper rolls and then sanitizer. Correct. Like in shopping apps when it says last two pieces left. Immediately, yes, you check out immediately without thinking. Compliance technique हुई मैम scarcity. हाँ जी, compliance technique भी है ये. What is his name? Cialdini's compliance technique. Principles of compliance में से एक है ये. All right, guys. Any doubts here? You can go ahead and ask. Otherwise, I'll go back to base rate and explain how it is different from representativeness. Naptol, don't go to such websites. All right, never mind. We'll go back and we'll try to understand what's happening here. देखिए. Now in base rate, first of all, what do I have? I have some data. I have some approximation I am making. What am I doing? I am making approximations. Okay. As in, I can tell you, I can make approximations about that because, in the last 10 years, I can say, during summer, Hyderabad temperature fluctuated between 40 and 45 degrees. Okay, makes sense? Alright, with me so far? So far, let's say in Hyderabad, in the last 10 years of summer, temperature fluctuated. I roughly remember, मेरी अपनी memory से of data, not actual exact factual data. Okay, alright, ठीक है. Now what I do is I say इस बार भी around 43 जाएगा maximum temperature. Maximum temperature. Okay, yeah, 45 जाएगा maximum temperature. Maybe it was 40 to 47. Now, is this true? This may not be 100% correct according to data. This is my memory of data. Okay? क्या है ये? This is simply my memory of what the temperature was like. And then I am guessing 45. लेकिन am I taking into consideration कि global warming तो हो रही है? Global warming हो रही है ना? अभी है, अभी तो 40 degrees है. In Delhi, it's going, it's 43 already. So you tell me, will it go to 45 only? It may go to 49 also. It may go to 50 also. I am not taking into consideration some data and I am simply making guesses. Okay, alright, fine. Now, in representative heuristics, it is mostly about stereotypes. Okay, whereas in base rate, it can be about anything. I may predict the result of a cricket match. I may predict the result of an क्या कहते हैं इसको election. Now I'll tell you again. I will show you this example with a cricket match. ठीक है? I know that Mumbai Indians at least मेरे ज़माने में जीतते थे. Mumbai Indians used to be a team that generally wins. Okay? Mumbai Indians. Then I will say Royal Challengers Bangalore. मेरे ज़माने में was a team that generally used to lose. Okay? Now let us say that I will say the Mumbai Indians will win. Based on whatever I remember, based on whatever I have seen. Now, Royal Challengers Bangalore apparently has a track record, hypothetically, that they lose to everyone else except for Mumbai Indians. So, RCB ends up winning. Understanding? They end up winning because they lose against every other team, but this one team they are able to defeat always. Okay, alright. So, I am ignoring, still is, okay. I am ignoring certain points of data and I am just going by some data points which I remember. Now here I am not going by stereotypes. Whereas if you look at क्या कहते हैं इसको, I'll explain to you here in a fresh page. Where did this go? Now if I talk about representative heuristic, this is only about people. This is mostly only about people. Let us say I saw a child steal a newspaper. मैंने देखा कि एक बच्चे ने newspaper steal किया. Child stole newspaper. Maybe the child was, needed something, maybe wanted to make a project, maybe the parent said it's okay, go take it, or, maybe they meant to ask and we were not there, whatever. Now, I think all children are thieves. Understanding the difference? Now, I think कि सभी बच्चे चोर होते हैं. Okay, alright, fine. Stereotyping. We just saw one child steal a newspaper. Personal experience is generalized, so it's completely different. Generalized. Okay? Clear? Let me know if it is clear. Please let me know if it's clear. ओके जैसे क्लासिकल कंडीशनिंग में जनरलाइजेशन होता है हाँ जी हम सेम रिस्पॉन्स वही रिस्पॉन्स हम मल्टीपल स्टिमुलाई को दिखाते हैं करेक्ट एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट ओके ऑलराइट आई एम होपिंग वी आर गुड टू गो हाँ करेक्ट ज्योति लेट्स गो ऑलराइट फाइन now have we finished informal heuristics? Yes, we have. We'll actually move on to formal heuristics. Can we all together repeat all of the informal heuristics? Can we just name them? All of the informal, तो आपको पता है informal heuristics will not help with problem solving. You need to remember that. You need to very, very firmly believe that and you need to apply it in your life. I'm kidding. It's up to you. But do remember that they're not useful in problem solving according to NTA NET. Now, can we repeat them all together? चलिए 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 Framing is also an informal heuristic. I'll explain framing. Framing is also informal. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so let's go one by one. We have the availability heuristic, we have the representativeness heuristic, we have the peak end heuristic, we have the simulation heuristic, we also have the anchoring and adjustment heuristic, we also have the base rate fallacy heuristic, we have the contagion heuristic, and we have the scarcity heuristic. Now we will talk about the framing heuristic. Very, very good. Very, very good. Now let's talk about the framing heuristic as well. ठीक है? I'm going to erase this and I'm going to basically write it right here. Okay. So framing is really, really interesting. ठीक है? जैसे हम sentences को frame करते हैं, that's exactly how people will respond. और we may actually change our behavior depending on how other people present information to us. ठीक है? Okay. All right. So I'll present a very very simple statement to you. आप मुझे बताओ कि negatively framed है, positively framed है, क्या है? So let us say somebody wants to go informal heuristics. Okay. So let us say that somebody wants to go for a liver transplant. Possible है, जा सकते हैं. Okay. कोई liver transplant के लिए जाना चाहता है. So I am the manager of a hospital, let's say, and I'm basically trying to explain to this person कि क्या आपके chances हैं, are you going to succeed, is it going to be successful, not successful. Let's try to understand. So framing number 1 is that around 80% of all liver surgeries in this hospital have been successful. Okay. And I say statement number 2 where I say 20% of all liver surgeries have been unsuccessful. Okay. Alright, ठीक है, fine. Can I say that statement number 1 is positively or negatively framed? आपको क्या लगता है अगर आप ही जा रहे हो? Which one will you select? Which one if, let us say, manager 1 tells you this and manager 2 tells you this? Where do you think there are higher chances of a person actually taking the risk and undergoing the surgery? आपको क्या लगता है? Okay, very, very good. See, if I only narrate or I frame the statement in a positive manner, यहाँ पे हमने, we have done positive framing. Yes. And in the second statement, I am highlighting only the negative aspect of it. Very, very good. So I have negatively framed. I am negatively framed. What happens here? Do you think a person will want to take risk if I tell them कि 20% जो सारे patients यहाँ पे आते हैं उनमें से 20 patients मर जाते हैं, they don't survive, rather than saying that 80% of all of the patients who come here go back healthy. What a positive way of putting it. तो यहाँ पे positive framing में लोग risk लेना चाहेंगे. People will be willing to take a risk. Whereas, risk and undergo the surgery. But in scenario 2, do you think this person will want to undergo the surgery? In scenario 2, person will not want to undergo the surgery. Okay? This heuristic can be used smartly in daily life. Correct? Okay, absolutely. Here, person will not want to undergo the surgery. Absolutely. That is basically the heuristic of framing. Let me know, but paranoid people will still think about the 20%. Okay, let me go call my sister. I did not say anything. I did not say anything. The risk aversion will go high. Risk aversion will be high only. Risk aversion here will be high because here we will not want to take risk. Alright guys? Chaliye, let's go. Let's go. Are we done here? If there are any doubts here, please go ahead and ask. Okay. Alright. Issue, you won't get invited if you keep doing things like that. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Alright, ठीक है. Thank you for letting me know. Now let's move on to formal heuristics. Okay, chaliye. Let's talk about formal heuristics now. The formal heuristics, since I am using some formal strategies which are most likely to lead me to a solution, a decent solution, then do I think that formal heuristics are going to be useful in problem solving? What do you think? They are useful in problem solving. So the next time that NET asks you which of the following heuristics can be used to solve problems, please don't mark availability heuristic or peak end heuristic or anything like that. Okay? Only mark these. All of them? All of them. Okay. All right. मैंने कुछ नहीं बोला. Ma'am, affect as information? Affect as information is also not great. Where emotions are basically overriding our decisions. That's quite easy to understand. Affect as information मतलब हमारे emotions ही हमारे सारे decisions को guide करते हैं. That's not great, clearly. Okay, Akanksha. फॉर्मल के टाइप्स ही हम करेंगे. मैम इनवाइट के बाद अगर कोई आया नहीं तो पनिशमेंट भी रखना. चलो. First of all, let's talk about satisficing. What is satisficing? Satisficing is finding a satisfactory solution. Not the best, not the worst, but only something that's good enough. Very, very simple, very, very effective is when you are hungry. Okay? Okay? Fine. When you're really hungry and your stomach is making noises that other people can also hear. Yeah, you're already feeling embarrassed. Uske upar bhook bhi. You're like, oh my god, I really need to eat. I really need to eat. And somebody says, Parle Ji kha lo, or Choco's biscuit hai, or hide and seek hai kha lo. You really don't like it. So maybe you don't eat that. But if somebody gives you puri or whatever, or anything, dal, chawal, or whatever, you'll be like, chalta hai, bas de do. So you need something that's good enough that will work for you. You will not care about, oh my god, is it from my favorite hotel or restaurant or no. You only want a satisfactory solution. You only want a satisfactory solution. Is that clear? That is basically satisficing. So the first solution that we generally come across and we find it satisfactory, matlab theek hai. Right? I've told you earlier also, you go out to buy shampoo because there's no shampoo at home. I don't know if it's ever happened to you. Maybe it has. You know best. So what do? आप पूछते हैं sulfate free वाला shampoo देना. You may not, you may be allergic to sulfate. So you may care a little bit, but then whatever the vendor gives you, whatever the shopkeeper gives you, you'll basically take it and then you'll go home. Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? ठीक है. Then next we'll talk a little bit in depth is elimination by aspects. Okay, this is really interesting and this I think I will explain to you on the next page. Okay, because अरे ये नहीं. I'll explain here. Elimination by aspects and then we will go back. So there is elimination by aspects and there is selection by aspects. Okay, selection by aspects is very, very easy to understand. I mean, whatever fits your criteria, you'll go ahead and select it, right? Now let's try to understand how to eliminate by aspects. Elimination by aspects. Now, why am I writing off? Okay. All right. ठीक है. Okay. Now let us say you want to go to watch the new Doctor Strange movie. Okay. All right. Now you know that there's also multiverse or whatever it's called. You want to go watch. Okay. ठीक है. Fine. Now you know that there's still COVID out there, so you want to be careful and you don't want to go to any and every theater. Yeah, you don't want to go to a shady theater where people are recording the movie and then getting in trouble. Absolutely. Now you want to check. Correct, Prince. Let's try to understand what are some aspects that you may think about before you choose the theater that you will go and watch this in. ठीक है. Comfortable seating होनी चाहिए. ठीक है. Comfortable seating होनी चाहिए. Then let us say कि आपको वो comforter वाली seating चाहिए. Let us say that आपको 3D या 4D चाहिए. चलो 4D नहीं तो at least you want 3D. You don't want 2D. Okay, alright. You want a 100 screen? Is there a bigger screen? I don't know, guys. You tell me. You want a 120 screen? I don't know what you want. Who knows? Then maybe you're only looking for PVR or you're maybe only looking for IMAX and INOX or whatever. ठीक है, इनमें से कोई भी चलेगा. Then can I say anything which is not one of these things? I will reject all of the theaters. जिसमें मुझे 3D मूवी नहीं दिखा रहे हैं, I will reject. जिसमें comfortable seating नहीं है, I will reject. जिसमें IMAX, INOX या PVR supported vision नहीं है, I will reject. जिसमें 100 का screen नहीं है, at least I will reject. That leaves probably 5 to 6 theaters in my and I want to see only morning show. Okay. तो ये सारे aspects को consider करके whichever is not meeting our criteria, we will eliminate. We will eliminate everything that does not meet our criteria. Doesn't meet criteria. Can I say that this is how I'm basically selecting by eliminating? हम eliminate करके ही select कर रहे हैं because this will leave only 5 to 6. Actually, if I only want morning show, this will leave like 3 to 4 theaters. And उसमें से I can simply choose whichever one I see the ticket is available. Prince वो ज़्यादा हो गया. Recliner seats. Yes, recliner seats are the best. ओके ऑलराइट पॉपकॉर्न ऑन सीट होना चाहिए वो अंदर जाके खुद खरीदना पड़ेगा कैसे भी ओके ऑलराइट हो गया गाइस रियलिस्टिक कम ऑन आर वी अंडरस्टैंडिंग एनी डाउट्स प्लीज आस्क इफ देयर आर एनी डाउट्स प्लीज आस्क so this is basically elimination by due to high demand ticket मिल जाए बस हाँ that is satisficing we got eliminated from the theater ultimately. If you do such things, then that is what is going to happen. फिर तो कभी मूवी नहीं देख पाएंगे प्रिंस. Yes, ma'am, clear. Previous formal heuristic is exactly opposite, ma'am. Something like that. It's not opposite, but the first solution that you think is okay, chalta hai, you do it and then you're like, theek hai, whatever. For satisficing. You're like, okay, fine, works, I'm desperate, let's just do it. Like that. ये शॉर्टकट कम लॉन्ग कट ज्यादा लग रहा है आप सोचो इफ यू आर न्यू इन अ सिटी इज दिस नॉट अ गुड वे टू filter out this is how I choose restaurants also so if I travel I look for all of the attributes that are there and what all they serve and what is their rating and वो सब चीजें देख के हम नहीं करते We select or we reject cafes and restaurants. Okay, all right. Okay, chaliye, let's go. Now, we'll move on to lexicographic strategy. So please pay a lot of attention. This is very important. This is very important. Okay. So we have satisficing, we have elimination by aspects, we have selection by aspects, and then we also have, what else do we have? What else do we have? What do we have? We have lexicographic strategy. Let's go ahead and see what let's see what lexicographic strategy is. Hotels to stay also, yeah. So actually in elimination by aspects, now what you will do, you will choose the things that you don't want, and then based on that you will eliminate, and then whatever few things are left which don't have all of the undesirable factors, that is the one we choose for sake of for the simplicity of explanation. I've explained this way. Now lexicographic is very easy to understand and very simple also. Here you have one priority in the solution. ठीक है, आपकी जो प्रॉब्लम है, आपके सोल्यूशन में आपको एक आपके पास प्रायोरिटी है. You want one single feature to be there in whatever object you are looking for and whatever solution you are looking for. Okay, all right. What's happening? Okay, what is happening? Now we'll talk later. ठीक है, okay, fine. Now. All right. Now what is happening here? So let us say if I simply want a phone which I can talk on, then do I need a touch screen phone? मुझे clear voice चाहिए phone में, then do I need a touch screen phone? No. But if you only want to play Candy Crush on phone or PUBG on phone, let us say you only want to play PUBG on phone, then it has to have good video and clear, and even if the voice is not that great. समझ रहे हैं आप? Okay, this depends on your priority. This depends on your priority of what you're actually looking for. Let's say in a hotel to stay in, what should be my one feature? Then let's say cleanliness is one thing that I want, or comfortable furniture is one thing that I want, or good food is one thing that I want in a hotel. Okay, or a restaurant. आप सोचो कि आप restaurant जा रहे हो, आपको ambience you don't care, but you only want good food. Yes, possible? Yes, then this is the only thing you look for. आप नहीं देख रहे हो कि wall पे paint है नहीं है, are the chairs decent not decent. You're like, but the food is the best, तो आप वहीं जाओगे, the place that has good food. And is that the correct solution for you? Is that the correct solution for you? That's the correct solution for you because that's the only thing you're looking for. So you're getting what you're looking for, and that's that. हाँ जी, absolutely ठीक है, all of it works. So here we search, we stop search, and then we make a decision, right? When we find the most important attribute that we are looking for, when we find it, we stop our search and basically we make a decision. That's all. Any doubts here? Please go ahead and ask. मैम आजकल तो photos, हाँ, that is another criteria. Correct. See, sometimes people prefer a dhaba also if it has a good food. Some people are overtly sensitive about hygiene though, and they have their own criteria, basically. Hanji, phone battery example also. Like ma'am को text कहाँ shift होना है? All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's discuss sort of the last few strategies, and then we are done. So we'll also talk about analogies. Now, have you heard about positive transfer and negative transfer before? A lot of you have asked me before, ma'am, what is positive transfer and negative transfer? Yes? Okay, let's talk about it. Now, analogy is one solution. Finding solution to one problem will actually help or aid in the solution to a similar problem. ये देख रहे हो आप? Here we are saying that my car is not working, so I am towing it with the help of another vehicle. ठीक है? Then afterwards, if I want to carry my boat home, I am using my car to tow it. Understanding? मतलब एक प्रॉब्लम का जब हम सोल्यूशन ढूंढते हैं वो हमें हेल्प करता है दूसरी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने में. That's basically what happens here. So, a similar problem solved in the past helps my current problem right now. Now, here negative or positive transfer may occur because it's not always going to be problem or solution to the problem. Okay. Now, what we are seeing here, can I say that this is positive transfer? Last time somebody was asking facilitation and inhibition. ट्रांसफर इज मोस्टली रिलेटेड टू प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग. तो यहाँ पे हम देख रहे हैं कि पॉजिटिव ट्रांसफर हो रहा है. या I will give you an example of a negative transfer also. So far, okay? Are we okay with analogy? Analogy just means similar. Yes, Pragati, absolutely. Ishu, don't go Himalaya. Oh, why are we being mean on YouTube also? Chaliye. Okay. Any doubts, please ask. All right, so let's talk about negative transfer. Negative transfer is, let's say I am a child who's in 4th grade. I'm not. I never went to 4th grade. Okay. All right. Now, 4th grade. Okay. Now this child is used to doing only multiplication. Okay. You know how there is LCM, HCF and all of that? And all that. ठीक है, एक में मल्टीप्लिकेशन चलता है एंड दूसरे में कुछ डिवीजन करना पड़ता है. ओके, नाउ ऑल दिस चाइल्ड नोज इज मल्टीप्लिकेशन, ओनली मल्टीप्लिकेशन. Do you think this learning multiplication aids in doing probably like complex, what do I say? Actually, they must have already learned. They will be able to do division also. I'll use another example. Let us say this child has just learned to do addition of double digits. Okay. All right. बच्चे ने क्या सीखा है? Addition सीखा है. Addition of double digits. Then can I say that this child, if I give them LCM, HCF, will they be able to do if they apply the same method that they've been applying earlier? Do you think they'll be able to use the same? Ma'am, 4th में LCM, HCF, I don't remember now. Right? They will not be able to solve. Actually, their previous solution of the problem will hinder their solution of the next problem. As in, I'll also tell you, अगर आप basic A plus B problem कर रहे हो और उसके बाद आपको geometry करना है, the previous one will actually hinder. तो इसको कहेंगे negative transfer. Same method will not work in both situations and therefore you might end up creating more damage than a solution. Therefore, it's a negative transfer. All right, like that. Okay, it's basically like that. Previous solution hinders the solution of a new problem. That is negative transfer. All right, any doubts, please ask. Proactive interference वो memory में आता है, यहाँ नहीं. यहाँ नहीं. Memory में interference, proactive and retroactive, not here. Here negative transfer and positive transfer. It will automatically be from the first activity to the second activity, first solution to second solution. Here we are not talking about second solution will spoil the first solution. Not like that, guys. Like I said earlier also, Inception movie nahi hai ye. Inception movie nahi hai, so don't worry about it. Transfer mein transfer, transfer mein transfer. Not like that. Not like that. We are not going to go back in time and then do things. Correct. See, Shramana, you understand very well. Chaliye. Good to go, guys? Any further doubts, please let me know. Otherwise, we are good to go. Good to go? Not good to go? Let me know. Ma'am, if they give this option in exam, then we will not select it as a problem-solving technique. Which one? Which one? Analogy. It is a technique of problem-solving. It is. Analogy, we mean positive transfer. Negative transfer is not analogy. When we are able to solve problems through analogy, that means positive transfer is occurring. Okay, all right. Yes, absolutely, Nabila. Ma'am, selection and elimination by aspect is same. No, selection is when you select things and elimination is when you eliminate things, but it's quite similar. So in simple words, it is not, correct. Correct, Jay. Clear, ma'am. Correct. Okay, so ma'am, negative is still formal. No, guys, negative transfer is not a method of solving, not a suitable method of solving problems, obviously. I just gave you an example of positive transfer, so I thought I will explain negative transfer also. It's not, there is no solution to the problem if it is negative transfer. आप खुद देखो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है. You're going to be unable to solve a problem here. Unable to solve problem. How negative is still formal? Huh? Who said? Huh? What? Huh? All right, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Now we will talk about actually two techniques. Okay? Which basically contain many other techniques within them. Ma'am, what is positive transfer? वो 5 minute पहले आना था आपको. I'll explain. Positive transfer is when the solution of one problem helps the solution of another problem, which is nothing but analogy. Yeah. Okay. All right. Selection of aspects may we are considering multiple priorities and lexicographic may we are, absolutely. Yes. Positive changing the bike tire helps in changing car tire. Correct, correct. Yes, absolutely. Ekta this side. Why am I calling you Jay? Okay. I don't know, all of my learners have some, this dissociation fantasy or what. I don't understand. क्या है क्या है क्यों करते हैं I don't understand. YouTube अकाउंट अपने नाम का बनाओ guys. नहीं है. ईमेल आईडी नहीं है. ऐसा क्यों? Never mind. Okay. Now we talk about problem space. And we talk about means and analysis. So we will talk about problem space theory first and then we will talk about means and analysis. Okay? All right, fine, great, wonderful then. So let us talk about problem space theory. Problem space theory is a very, very old theory in comparison to the newer ones that we are looking at today. ठीक है? जो हम देख रहे हैं heuristics, fairly new. Now, what is problem space theory ideally? So have you ever as a child played those games orcs के साथ, sheep के साथ, wolf के साथ, sheep को कैसे ले जाएंगे to the other end, to the other end of the stream and stuff? Yes? No? Okay. All right, fine. So here we look at our current problem situation. Our problem situation. ठीक है? Let's say even if you're playing a game, you're somewhere or you're stuck somewhere, है ना? Let us say you're playing Super Mario. सुपर मारियो में भी आप कहीं पे हो ना, दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम सिचुएशन, दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम स्टेट वेयर यू आर राइट नाउ. आपको लेवल क्रॉस करने के लिए लेट्स से यू स्टिल हैव टू क्लियर सम टू फिनिश द गेम और टू रीच टू गेट द प्रिंसेस. Princess is our goal state. Okay, princess is our goal state. Anybody who has not played Super Mario, then बताइए. Not played Super Mario? You can tell me and then I will explain it to you. ठीक है, तो बीच में बहुत सारे hurdles है ना? Yes. So here what we do is, first of all, we imagine our own problem state wherever we are. उसके बाद we think directly of the goal state. And then we think of all possible intermediate steps. You remember how there used to be tunnels where you could just go and end up in another level? All possible intermediate steps. All right. Now, this was not necessarily a technique to reduce the number of steps. Okay. It is just basically first looking at our problem state where we are right now in a game or in life, and then where we want to get by the end of our quest or what is our goal, and then visualizing all possible intermediate steps. So this was quite simple. Based upon this, later we developed the means and analysis heuristic. तो इस पे based है आपका means and analysis heuristic. Let's try to understand what happens in means and analysis heuristic. You have not played? Okay, okay, but you have seen it. Okay. All right, चलिए. Bonus tunnel, हाँ, correct. All right, देखिए. Means and analysis क्या होता है? Now here also what I do is I basically analyze where I am. Okay. In means and analysis also what do I do? I basically analyze where I am. Then what do I do? Problem state. Then I look at where the goal state is and how far away I am from the goal state. ठीक है? How far away? Now, just like we break down our how much distance? We break down our long-term goals into shorter goals. तो यहाँ हम actually sub goals बनाते हैं. We make smaller goals called sub goals. Okay. And by actually forming the sub goals, we try to see if there are steps which we can skip altogether. Okay. And therefore, we make an attempt to reduce the number of steps altogether. Reduce number of steps or simply reduce the distance. We try to reduce the distance between our own state right now and the end goal state. Okay. All right. In the sense, let's take an example of your exam. Let's say you're preparing for a competitive exam. हाँ जी, absolutely. Let's try to understand. तो हम ऐसे सोचेंगे, you are here, you have 6 months to go and you have 60% of your syllabus to cover. Okay. All right. Let's say you have 60% of the notes also to make. Okay. All right. And then you have your goal state, which is JRF, PhD, whatever it is, NET. Okay. This is your current scenario. 40% prep done. Okay. Now, are there things which I can completely eliminate in some sub goals? सोचो कि मेरा target है कि मैं notes बनाऊं. Can I eliminate that? Okay. Booking Uber rather than changing 3 autos. And metro also. Metro and then 3 autos. Okay. All right, fine. So can I eliminate some sub goals or reduce my time in some sub goals like making notes? Can I try to do questions right after theory so that I get double revision? So I will combine 2 sub goals. So theory or फिर revision or फिर questions. Rather than that, I do theory and immediately after that I do questions. Yes, automatic revision. So I reduce some steps here. तो हम यहाँ पे reduce कर देते हैं distance by reducing the steps. That is means and analysis. Alright guys? हाँ जी. Okay. Alright. Strategy class भी साथ में होती है. और हो रही है. Alright. Reduce timing of paper 1 prep. हाँ. I was so astonished when somebody said paper 2 के लिए time नहीं मिलता. I am doing paper 1 all day. कहाँ से कर रहे हो? Alright guys, if you are clear with means and analysis, please let me know. Please let me know. ऑल राइट मैम, एडजस्टमेंट करेंगे गोल तक जाने के लिए. हाँ जी, एडजस्टमेंट करेंगे, ऐसे करेंगे कि हम नंबर ऑफ स्टेप्स रिड्यूस कर दें. ओके, इन means and analysis, we will basically try to reduce the overall number of steps. We'll try to decrease the distance between us by forming, by having sub-goals, by forming sub-goals. Sub-goals in itself is a separate heuristic as well, which is just smaller goals used in means and analysis to get closer to the goal state. Okay, all right. Now we have some other heuristics as well in the problem space scenario, which we will talk about. मैम एडजस्टमेंट करेंगे गोल तक. हाँ, ये तो हो गया. क्लियर मैम, आसान है प्रिडिक्ट करना कहाँ से कर रहे होंगे क्या. How much time it will take? अरे this is not really strategy class. वो जो लास्ट में हम कॉलेज एग्जाम में कुछ टॉपिक्स छोड़ के आते हैं वो भी मीन्स एंड है. नहीं, वो केयरलेसनेस है. Alright, okay guys, we'll just talk about these a little further and then we'll call it a day. मैम बट नोट्स बनाना तो इम्पोर्टेंट है ना. नोट्स तो आपको मिल रहे हैं. Okay, all right, let's try to understand what is happening here. Now, we will talk about what do I say? We'll talk about working forward and we'll talk about working backwards as well. ठीक है? Okay, all right. Now, working backward or working forward. Working forward is basically you start at the beginning and try to solve the problem from start to finish, right? Why is this a heuristic? You may try to reduce the number of steps in which you solve a problem. Working backwards is what is interesting. Apparently, the Tower of Hanoi uses this method as well, the Tower of Hanoi problem. Okay, now here we try to do repeat state avoidance actually. Repeat state avoidance. Okay, all right. Okay, but first we will try to understand what working backwards is. Now again, I'm going to release, or am I erase, not release. I'm going to erase this and then, or I will explain right here. Chali. All right. Working backward is, have you ever looked at a maths book at all of where all of the answers are placed? क्या आपने कभी मैथ्स की बुक खोल के पूरे आंसर्स पहले चेक किए हैं and tried to then do the problem, or even your paragraph questions? Do you ever look at the answers first and then try to use any and every method to get the right answer? Have you ever done this? Yeah, have you ever done this? Problem solver starts at the end of the problem and tries to go backward from there. करते हैं ना, सब तो करते हैं. हाँ जी, absolutely, absolutely. That is nothing but working backwards. Okay, all right. हाँ हाँ, so वो hobbit वाली problem भी, where we have hobbits and orcs or those sheep and all of that. First we see how they get there or how basically they are there, and then we try to work backwards कि इनको कैसे लाया होगा यहाँ पे. Absolutely, absolutely. Now let's try to understand how it plays a role in the Tower of Hanoi problem also. Here also, if I look at the final state, I may be able to visualize how they go back, and therefore we will try to do this in the least number of steps possible without repeating the initial state again. क्योंकि यहाँ पे अगर गलती होती है, there's a high possibility that you will actually have to repeat the whole thing again. This is just the Tower of Hanoi problem. There are many such Tower of London, Tower of this and that, which are used for reasoning test. Lords of the Ring. क्या? 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 What? 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 Never mind. I'm sorry. Please excuse my expression. Alright, guys. Please ask if there is any question with working backwards. We're almost done. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know if there are any doubts. We are almost done. If there are any questions at all throughout the class, please let me know. हाँ हाँ मैम, लॉर्ड ऑफ द रिंग्स वो लॉर्ड ऑफ द रिंग्स है, लॉर्ड्स ऑफ रिंग्स नहीं है. What do I say? I suppose this is Friday, huh? This is Friday special for me. Ma'am, Tower of Hanoi, can you repeat, please? See, Tower of Hanoi is actually just this. It's a problem, right? What you have to do is, ऐसे है ना यहाँ पे, you have to transfer all of these rings to this pole number 3. So you have pole 1, pole 2 and pole 3. You have to do it in the least possible steps without making any mistakes. Okay, alright, fine. Now, how is it the easiest to do it? It can be done by working backwards, as in actually sitting and putting all of the rings and then seeing where they might go backwards. Okay, another heuristic which is applicable here is repeat state avoidance heuristic, where we try not to repeat from the beginning. We try to not make a mistake so that we don't have to repeat from the beginning. That's all. That is all. Okay, all right. All right. Problem space theory basically says that first we analyze where we are. ठीक है, जब हम प्रॉब्लम स्पेस थ्योरी की बात करते हैं, हम पहले देखते हैं कि देखो हम कहाँ पे हैं. If I have to reach the last level, or let's say I'm walking, I'm completing a marathon. हम रेस दौड़ रहे हैं या मैराथन दौड़ रहे हैं, ठीक है. So I have 6 more kilometers to go. Let us say ending the marathon. Ending the marathon. Okay, all right. I have already covered 3 kilometers. ठीक है, okay. So in problem space theory, this is basically an overall theory where we first look at where we stand right now. That means our problem situation. After that, we look at what? The goal state, not the intermediate steps. After looking at the goal state, we evaluate the distance between us and the goal state, and then we try to think of all intermediate steps which are possible, and then we decide the best one. That's all. That's all. Following a recipe, it's actually by heuristic, na? Karan? Karan is also Karan, or Karan is somebody else. Okay. So Tower of Hanoi is also basically by heuristic you're doing na, to make the least possible. Otherwise, I'm sure algorithm mein you can make multiple steps and you will get the correct solution. Not algorithms. All right. No further doubts? Okay. All right then. All right then. All right, guys. Then that is about it. Thank you so much for learning with me today. I will see you all on Monday. Happy weekend. It is always a pleasure to talk to all of you. If you do want to watch more of my classes on Unacademy or here on YouTube, please remember that Fridays 8 p.m. is when my classes happen. So every Friday 8 p.m. you can just log in here and then just follow the link. And if you do want to watch my future classes or any of my other classes which are free as well, you can join my Telegram group, which is Net with Hafsa. And if you want to join Unacademy, if you want to take subscription to the Plus course, you can go ahead and use my code Hafsa Live. This will give you a 10% discount. That's about it. Happy weekend, everybody. I will let you know if there's anything else. I'll see you all on Monday. Bye bye. Take care. If you like the video, if you like the class, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. That really helps out. Okay, bye bye.